We say good day to all of you basketball fans and welcome to the 41st William Jones Cup International Basketball Tournament for Men here in Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan. And Chikiri is here with Coach Richard Del Rosario, and this is a match between two teams that have both immaculate records, Coach Richard.
Well, definitely the toughest test for Mighty Sports right now will be this national team of Korea, the same team that will be competing in the World Cup. And so this is really a match that to look forward to.
South Korea with a 4-0 record. Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines also with a 4-0 record. And the Philippines coming off a convincing victory against Canada. And likewise for South Korea coming from a convincing victory against Indonesia.
That's correct. And, it's been easy so far for Mighty Sports, although we expect a different story here as we take a look at the starters for both squads. Adams, Brickman, Graham, and Bachman starting for the Philippines. And of course for Korea, Gara is Ricardo Ratliff, who played as a reinforcement in the PBA and has been a naturalized player of Korea.
Now, unfortunately for the Philippines, Coach, we got some word from our friends that two players might not see action, or one might not see action and the other is not 100%.
Yes, Mackenzie Moore has a sprained left ankle. Zach Graham, he is starting today, but he also has issues with his knee. And there is Ricardo Ratliff, of course, a familiar face for to Filipino basketball fans, and has been playing a long time in Korea.
And of course, Ronaldo Bachman there. So once again, we'll mention to you our starting units for both squads. Ronaldo Bachman is being joined by Roosevelt Adams, Jeremiah Gray, we got Jason Brickman, and Zachary Graham. On the other side, joining Ratliff, who is now known as Guna Ra, is Jongkyu Kim, Hoon Hyo, Jung Hyun Lee, and Jun Yong Choi. Here we go. This is for win number 5 and to protect the immaculate record. First dibs. We got Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines. This quarter brought to you by Health Cube. And Coach, I don't know if you're gonna agree with all our friends who are saying that this is probably the strongest lineup we've ever built for the William Jones Cup.
Of course, because of all the reinforcements that has been included in this lineup. But again, Korea, because this is the national team, familiarity will favor Korean side, and chemistry as well, because they have been playing together for a long time. And our team, although they are talented, was just assembled a few weeks back. And so we are hoping that they can play with as much chemistry as they can in this formidable challenge of Korea.
A minute has gone by here in the first quarter. 3-ball won't drop. Ooh, offensive board. Picked up by the blue shirts underneath. Bachman scores the first 2 for the Philippines.
Good offensive rebound there. A lot of second chance opportunities being given to the Philippines early on in this game.
Open lane, and that's too easy for Hoon Hyo.
This would be the challenge for Mighty Sports, and how to defend against the national team of Korea. Of course, offensively, you have a lot of weapons as you take a look at another 3-point basket by Graham. But defensively, that will be the challenge.
5-2. Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines up by 3. Now we are expecting that this game might go tit for tat all 40 minutes.
That's correct. And you can see the crisp ball movement of the Korean national team as well.
Tied at 5. 8 minutes left here in the first. Shot clock at 9 for the Philippines. Long 2. They're going to count that one. And the foul will go against Choi. Bucket is good, however, for Graham.
Well, we know Graham to be a volume shooter and a high scorer. When he played for Air 21. And he is showing that right now. And Troy was caught reaching in on Graham, leading the way so far for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
Zach Graham not losing that focus after getting hit on his shooting arm. 7-5, Philippines up by 2. And we are only 7:52 here in the first quarter. We got our first timeout, and this timeout is brought to you by Go for Gold. We'll be right back.
Jason, come off. Not past Jason.
무슨 얘기냐면 들어갈 때 걔가 다행히 가운데로 좀 사이드로 들어가면 매치를 가운데 서 있지 말고 맞춰주고 종기 가운데 서 있지. 그런데 이거를 갖다 가운데로 들어가 버리니까 여기서 병원을 그것만 신경 써봐.
Back off number 6 a bit. Don't pressure number 6. Pressure everybody else. Good shot, Zach. Nice shot, Zach. Later on, you'll be on the spot of the small guy, you get that pass, and then you can beat him with that roast dive. Jason, if they're still in that zone and we run,
We're back here for your 41st William Jones Cup International Basketball Tournament in Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan. Zach Graham on the line for a possible three-point play, and he was able to complete that, giving Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines a three-point lead.
And again, we've received word that Mackenzie Moore, didn't join the shoot-around, but he is suited up. And it's going to be a coach's decision whether he's going to play or not.
Lee hitting that three, and token defense coming from the blue shirts in that last sequence.
That's
Coach.
correct. And you really have to extend against the Korean players. They're known for their outside shooting, less dribbling, more of passing. And if we want to win this game, it has to be through our defense.
10-8, Philippines up by 2. Shot block for South Korea at 14.
That's good. That's good. Get back, good job.
That pass inside, deflected by Bachman. 8.9 left on the shot block for the white shirts.
Good active hands there for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Playing the passing lanes.
Bachman forgetting to raise that arm, and that's the first 2 points here for Ra.
Yeah, what I remember about him is that he's tireless. He doesn't even sit down during timeouts.
More so, Coach, this is just a 40-minute game.
That's correct.
2 ball, contested but still good for Gray.
Gray is very athletic, and he can hurt opponents inside and out.
Back to a 2-point lead here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. One and done for South Korea. Here comes Bachman. Gray open again for that long bomb, but fails to connect. Shot clock at 15. Very patient execution here by South Korea, eventually finding an open guy.
Well, definitely, you have to sustain your defense, as we see a good block there by Bachman.
I mean, Coach, that didn't connect in that last possession for South Korea, but you have to applaud that good ball movement.
Yes, there's a lot of off-the-ball screens as well.
And even Ra already inside the paint, still locating a possible three-point shooter outside.
That's correct. And I had a chance to go to Korea, I believe it was last year, and observe some of their commercial teams practice, and you wouldn't believe how disciplined they were during practice. Nobody would sit down for the whole 2 hours of practice. That's how disciplined they were.
And what I like when we cover games by South Korea is how they milk that shot clock. They literally milk it to the last drop.
That's correct. And you know, almost if you see their shooting form, it's almost the same. All players have the same shooting form, and those are developed at a young age for young players. As we see Eugene Phelps checking in, provide more muscle here for Mighty Sports to go for gold.
So at least an additional banger here for the blue shirts, and we got a good crowd here enjoying the action, you know, supporting different teams here. We got 9 teams all in all
Let's try 5 down
participating, and only 2 teams, these 2 teams, with an immaculate 4-0. And should any of these teams continue to win all the way, then that team will be crowned champion.
Yes, there won't be any playoff or semifinals. It's just most number of wins that will be crowned as champions for the Jones Cup.
South Korea up by 1, courtesy of the free throws coming from Jung Hyun Lee. Pressure applied here for the white shirts. Easily broken by Mighty Sports Go for goal. Shot back at 11. They rotate that ball. And this will go against Gray.
You can see Korea playing sort of a matchup zone that's really disrupting the offensive flow of Mighty Sports Go for gold. However, you know, guys like Gray doing the right thing of trying to crash for offensive rebounds. And there's Mackenzie Moore.
So I guess what you mentioned earlier, coach's decision, I think Coach Charles Tew realized that they need more.
Oh, yes.
Even though he's not 100%. Going all the way to the cup was Zach Graham. And he'll go back to the line.
And you can see him deceiving the defense with his eyes before going all the way to the hoop.
He knew he had good support there. You have Phelps on one side, you got Bachman on the other.
Yes, you have rebounders.
Still 13-12 as Zach misses the first of 2 free throws. Second one is good. We are tied at 13.
7 points already for Graham.
Leading the attack here for Mighty Sports Go for gold. Meantime, nice pass inside, but no conversion. That's a sorry miss coming from Jong-Kyu Kim.
Yes, good inside pass there off that staggered screen. There's a smaller guy who tried to defend him, but he wasn't able to finish with contact.
Baseline inbound for South Korea. They got 12 to shoot. Open. No conversion. Here comes the blue shirts. They go to Graham. Missing the layup. Counter attack. This is going to be a stroll in the park for Jung Hyun Lee.
But again, our defense needs to be spot on. Not only our half-court defense, but also transition defense, because Korea is really going to pounce on that.
Bachman inside, immediately taking that bucket back.
A good strong move there by Ronaldo Bachman, challenging the defense of Ratliff.
So the chess match here continues here in the first quarter. Both teams feeling each other out. Ooh, long 2 against Bachman is good. Coming with a big fellow.
Hand down, man down. Did not put an arm or a hand to challenge that shot, but he wants to get it back with his bucket. And Bachman really very aggressive here in the first quarter.
So it started with Zach Graham, and now it's Ronaldo Bachman picking it up.
And one-on-one coverage at the post. Bachman just powering his way, or Ratliff powering his way against Phelps. It's like a tit for tat between these 2 guys.
And Bachman asking for a whistle, didn't get any. Meantime, Ra blocked here by Phelps. Oh, and the Koreans trying to get fancy there. Turnover by Jun Young Choi.
That's right. You know, and something that you don't usually see from Korean players. You know, fancy plays has been pretty solid, but this was a solid block as well by Phelps.
Time remaining, 3:13 here in the first quarter. Still 18 on the shot clock for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Graham, short on the 3.
Help. No.
There's a methodical approach here of South Korea.
Yes, that's a good call. Illegal screen. Bumped the defender as he was using that screen.
Jong Kyu Kim, wearing jersey number 15, called for this illegal screen.
No.
And this guy was just celebrated his birthday last July 3. Very young lad from South Korea. Meantime, Bachman lost that ball.
Get down, ball. Get down.
And Bachman still at the back trying to complain.
Hey, no ball.
Oh yes, with a dribbling violation here. Yeah, that's one thing Ronaldo Bachman needs to realize. You know, he cannot stop playing if you don't hear a whistle. And especially these are international referees. Although there you see a lifting violation or double dribble.
Philippines actually dodged a bullet there because it was a 5-on-4.
That's correct.
Here we go. Phelps inside, 3 on him. No problem for Eugene Phelps.
Now he's just powerful once he's inside the paint. There's not one guy who can really stop him strength-wise. Probably Rock. He's the only guy there.
Tied at 19 here in the first quarter. 3 ball at the corner. Rock for the offensive board. Ooh. And they call it travel.
You know, he's so surprised because in Korea, that's not a travel. You know, whenever they go to practice,
I think
it's not a travel.
Tied at 19, a minute 57 left here in the first quarter. Let's take another look at this move by Hyo.
Yeah, had an extra step. Once you plant your feet, you can't get an extra step. But as I mentioned, in Korea, that's not a travel.
19 all, 157 to go. Timeout brought to you by Go for Gold. We'll be right back.
The wing pass. Extra pass to Mike in the corner. When Mac gets the ball to Zach, this is ball, he's flashing. Then we go for the high-low. Double cutter play, all right? Ball reversal, double cutter. Come on.
1-3의 반대가 있으라고 여기 볼 주고 볼 줄 때 같이 내려가.
You'll be starting off here.
볼 줄 때
And then
같이
when the ball goes up, you'll be coming down.
올라오고
Settle down pick.
원해원이야 원해원.
And then go over here. Start 1-on-1.
네가 오케이. Let's go. 준영이 가서 여긴 상관없어. 상관없어.
Now we're back here at Changhua County Stadium, and we caught the both huddles actually off the air, and it's a more challenging huddle for South Korea because there's a Korean coach and then there's an English translation.
Yes, all the teams in Korea, they have an English interpreter or translator because they have American imports in their league, about 2 or 3 American imports. So that's not unusual for Korean clubs. They're used to it.
You gotta tip your hat to those interpreters there. Meantime, Korea takes the lead at 21-19.
It seems that they understood. Yeah, everything was understood. So no problem. Good execution off that timeout.
Choi gives the white shirts a 2-point lead. A minute 13 left here in the first. Bachman down low to Phelps. Single coverage. Baseline J. We are tied at 21.
Well, it's going to have a field day. if there's only a single coverage on him.
Final minute here in the first. And the seesaw battle continues. Shot block for Korea, 10. They're waiting for Ra against Phelps. Mano y mano here. Shot block, 1 second. Ra throws it up. And they'll call a foul against Jong Hyun Lee.
So because, you know, Mighty Sports Go for Gold has a lot of reinforcements, as we take a look at that loose ball foul on Lee, they can afford, you know, not to really double the post or send help. Because usually, I mean, in the PBA, teams do that to try and save your import from foul trouble.
But if you have a luxury here of having a lot of super players,
Yeah.
then the task becomes easier. Difference of about 6 seconds between quarter clock and shot clock here. 10 to shoot for Korea.
There's a switch defensively. Let's see. Oh, but Ra.
Shot clock, a second to go. Stolen here by the blue shirts. It's going to be a stroll in the park. The layup is good. Credit goes to Moore. And this is what we expected here in the first quarter, Coach. Philippines only up by 2 points.
Yes, very good quarter here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. You know, and stood their ground defensively. Hopefully we can continue with this throughout the game.
Mighty Sports Go for Gold up by 2 to end the first quarter, 23-21. We'll be right back.
우리 2분만 더 봐. 2분만 더 봐. 그 다음에 배성이하고 저 천영이하고 바꿔줍니다. 중앙점 됐잖아. 자, 뭐가 되냐면 번화가 잡았을 때 번화가 이때가 날 잡았을 때 질라고 했는데 밖에 다 서 있는 거야 지금. 커팅 들어가서 여기 공간이 생겨서 올라오고 내려가고 산책하는데 내가 알아서 해결하겠다 서 있단 말이야. 반대 45도 커팅 한번 들어가고. 그리고
Once again, we say good day to all of you all the way here from Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan, for the 41st William Jones Cup International Basketball Tournament. This is a match between Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines and the South Korean national team. Both teams having a 4-0 record. Chicky Reyes here with Coach Richard Del Rosario. And the first quarter is over with Mighty Sports Go for Gold having just a very slim 2-point lead, 23-21.
Yes, definitely. And that's good because you have to remember this is the 5th straight day that the Mighty Sports Go for Gold will be playing. It is only after today that they will take a break, and the next game will be on Friday. So, you know, this is really a challenge, not only physically but mentally, to get yourselves focused and ready to play such a good team like Korean national team.
Teams that Mighty Sports Go for Gold have beaten were Iran, Jordan, Japan, and Canada in that order. For South Korea, it's Jordan, Chinese Taipei White, Iran, and Indonesia. So 23-21. And second quarter, or this quarter, is brought to you by Health Cube. Coach, for our viewers who just tuned in, what happened in the first quarter? How come only 2 points separated both squads?
Well, at first, Mighty Sports Go for Gold, you know, was struggling against the zone defense of Korea, but they were able to penetrate the zone like what they did before. They were able to adjust it midway through the first quarter, and for Korea, well, they had good ball movement, although sometimes they've been caught for traveling and then turned the ball over a couple of times.
And 4 people, by how I recall it, shared the load for the Philippines. It was Gray, Graham, Baldwin, Eugene Phelps. They just shared the load
Yes.
But you got to tip your hat off to South Korea, staying with the Philippines.
Yes, you know, that's the luxury for Mighty Sports. You have all these weapons at your disposal. And that's why this Korean national team has joined this tournament. They're preparing for the World Cup. And this is going to be a good challenge for them in their preparation.
Well, there's a whistle here. Jockeying for position away from that basketball. This foul will be called against Jung Hyun Lee. Trying to prevent a steal by Zach Graham there. Oh, it's going to be tough there for Lee to guard a bigger, heftier Zach Graham.
That's why they've been going to zone to start this game. Right now they've shifted back to man-to-man, and that's why Mighty Sports Go for Gold is having a better time or easier time scoring.
That time around, that single coverage did work for South Korea. Phelps failing to score. Tap out by Balkman, or rather by Moore. And earlier you called this out, Coach. If it's single coverage, it's going to be easy for Phelps, but not this time.
Yes, there was a slight bump by Lee, so staying strong there at the post against strongman Eugene Phelps.
Good ball movement here by the white shirts. 5 to shoot inside. Oh, tough shot, but Rawas there for the follow-up throwdown.
You know, that's why he's very effective. He doesn't really demand the ball. He's just the initiator of the offense. You know, and he frees up a lot of shooters in the perimeter. That's why they can spread the floor with him on the post.
Gunara with 8 points, going 50% on the floor. This will go against Phelps.
Yeah, you really have to adjust to the calls here in international competition. Look at that, good follow there by Phelps.
And Ra's hands are, it's going to be full, Coach. He really has to work doubly hard both ends of the floor.
That's correct.
25 all, 3 ball again for South Korea. Tried to go bank, it was all glass. 4 on the other end, it's good. And Mighty Sports Go for Gold up by 2.
That's a good sign for Mighty Sports with more running the floor. As we mentioned, he has ankle issues. He has a sprained left ankle, but seems to be moving very well.
Ball movement, that's what the team in white is doing. But again, a fancy pass didn't work well for Choi.
Good intention, but good weak side reaction also for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
27-25.
5 down, Eugene. 5 down, Eugene. 5 down, Eugene.
And we could overhear Coach Charles Chiu looking probably for Eugene Phelps here. They're allowing him to shoot, and
Yeah.
he's going to take it.
I mean, not even putting a hand up on Eugene Phelps, and you know, that's an easy elbow jumper for him.
4-point lead for Mighty Sports Go for Gold, 29-25. Hand off, 2 on him. Round the move. Reverse was too deep. Rebound Phelps.
Well, he has a taller defender on him. That's why it's more difficult for him to score. A nice twirl by Mackenzie Moore.
Mackenzie Moore, realizing that the single coverage was all the way to the cup, took advantage by doing that spin move and using the left hand. Philippines up by 6 here, 31-25. And this was the follow-up slam here by Gunara. Mighty Sports Go for Gold up by 6, 31-25. Timeout brought to you by Go for Gold. Biggest lead already for Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines, 31-25. Actually, biggest lead for any of these two clubs. But right now, the men in blue are trying to separate themselves from South Korea.
Yeah, it starts with good defense and it allows a Mighty Sports Go for Gold to run in transition, wherein they are very dangerous. You know, Mackenzie Moore, of course, there, and Eugene Phelps.
Watch the play, Jason. It's over. It's over. Good.
Tend to shoot here for Korea.
Come on.
That pass deflected, picked up again. Shot block continues. They go to Ra. Good block coming from Mackenzie.
So Mackenzie really moving well. I mean, he has elevation. He can run. Good help from behind.
Baseline J blocked again by Phelps this time. Mackenzie.
Nice ball, yeah.
That was a good job, as we mentioned earlier. It starts with defense, and Eugene Phelps did a great job in challenging that outside shot. Got a piece of the leather, which led to this fast break opportunity.
Great defense.
And I think they called an unsportsmanlike foul against Sun Hyung Kim, which means free throws will go the way of Mackenzie and ball possession for the Philippines. Missed the first one, however. Incidentally, Hamadi Injai is also in for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
And that's why it's more difficult for Ra or Ratliff to operate inside because of the height of Injai.
Other side, Mac.
We're getting the Philippines getting taller inside the shaded area. It's gonna be Brickman who will do the honors from the side. Williams, by the way, is also in. Phelps again being given that space, but this time it was short.
Stay with him. On your own. Good, take to the left side. Good, Jason. Nice
Shot
ball.
back at 15.
Great D. Good job. Under.
They go back to Ra. And Ra will be called for that offensive foul.
Just very active defensively, not allowing penetrations. And even in this pocket pass there, you know, established position already, and you can see the frustration in the face of the head coach of South Korea, Coach Kim Sang-shik.
Blue shirts on the attack. Lost control. He lost control. Mackenzie Moore. Counter attack here by Korea. Good transition defense by Mighty Sports. Three ball. And now the Koreans are missing from beyond the arc.
That's right. And you know, that's what we want as we see a strong move here by Eugene Phelps.
He was so confident that in case he misses, he has Njai underneath. Biggest lead already for Mighty Sports Go for Gold at 11:36-25, rather 34-25 at 9.
You know, the shots of Korea has been, you know, it's been way off the mark. Unlike here, Mighty Sports Go for Gold, you know, making a solid run.
Michael Williams making it a 12-point lead for Mighty Sports Go for Gold, 37-25.
And you can see Ricardo Ratliff in his body language. He is a frustrated man. Really disappointed with the shots that his team has been taking.
And not only that, Coach, after missing those shots, on the other end, it's quite difficult to determine who will, quote-unquote, poison you from the other side.
Yeah, that's correct. And, you know, long shots equals long rebounds. And, you know, with Ratliff inside, if he doesn't get the rebound, you know, it's off to the races for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
4:43 remaining here in the second quarter. Long three is good, and credit goes to Dae Sung Lee.
Well, they needed that badly. Stop the bleeding here.
Lead for Mighty Sports Go for Gold is down to 9. And we'll call a foul on Lee. .428 left here in the second period. Brickman calling for the horns play. Gonna go high-low. And Eugene Phelps does what he does best. Just goes in,
Yeah,
gets the contact.
he doesn't fall into a trap because his defender's really giving him the outside shot. But since he missed the last one, decides to take it strong in the hoop, got the foul, and will go to the free throw line.
It's so tough to guard Mighty Sports Go for Gold. You have people can score inside, score outside. Even Brickman is just bring down the ball and setting the play.
That's correct, and for our point guard, that's
It's a
a
feast.
luxury. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you pass to. You can rack up assist after assist.
Eugene makes the first of 2 free throws. Second one is also good. He has a total of 12. Back to a double-digit lead here for Mighty Sports. Go for Gold, 39-28. Shot clock at 9. Down to 6. Good defense being shown by the blue shirts. Forcing Korea to take an outside shot.
Yes, that's a great sustained defense there for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
Now Phelps has it again. Opting to go for the long 2, and he made it.
Yeah, and he's proving to Korea, okay, you want me to take these shots? I can hit this too.
Baker's dozen lead here for the Philippines, 41-28.
Inside, goes out, good job, Jay. You got help.
Floater inside. Nope. Good block by Njai. Ra underneath. Had to carve space. And he is trying to carry the whole weight on his shoulders.
That's right. Just good collapsing defense there. You can see here Njai with a block, and then 2 guys on him, not giving him space. Although that was an open look with his left hand, still missed it.
But I guess you're right, Coach. Frustration is probably creeping in on Ra. Ooh, tough shot there coming from Williams.
Mighty Sports Go for Gold really pouring it on here in the second quarter, already with 43 points.
And they have built a 15-point lead. They have managed to score 20 points already here, Coach,
Right.
in the second period. Corner 3. The few times that they've left a white shirt open for a 3-point shot.
Well, that's also one thing for Korea. Doesn't matter how many points they are down in a basketball game, they still play the same way. With ball movement and trying to look for the open shooters, as Njai is called for an offensive foul.
I like how our officials are being consistent with that call.
Yes, it happened right in front of them. So a slight movement, will result into an offensive foul or an illegal screen.
So the burden of adjustment obviously will be on the players here. 2:25 remaining in the first half. 13-point lead for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Corner shot won't drop. Offensive rebound for Korea. Recycled offense here. Oh, good fake. But good help, but good bucket as well.
I mean, you can't say anything about the defense because that was a challenge shot. They just made a better offense.
Lee with that long 2. Cuts the lead of Philippines down to 11. Bachman inside. Shot block at 6. Down to 3. Williams lost it. 4-2 break for Korea. Ra finishes with the layup.
But now it's the time of Korea to make a run towards the end of the first half. Keeping it close, keeping it within striking distance.
I mean, at 35 remaining here in the second quarter, Coach Charles Tew of Mighty Sports Go for Gold asking for a timeout. Their lead has gone down to 9 points, 43-34. Good run here by South Korea, and this timeout is brought to you by Go for Gold. Back in a moment.
When he comes out, Mac, you set a screen for Rose for the 3-ball. All right? We ran this once. Slip. When he comes out.
와줘야 되는데 지금 밖에서 다 서서 구경하고 있단 말이야. 방향 제시하면 안쪽에서 와줘. 투맨 게임하고 안 되면 돌아 나오고 다음 사람 와줘야지. 그리고 얘네 포스트업이나 미들에서 오펜스 하면은 옆에 있는 사람이 서 있지 말고 액션 한번 취해줘. 액션 한번.
Dig a little bit.
Number 4, you think supposed You got 43, right? You got 43, right? It just a transition switch.
We're back here at Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan for the 41st William Jones Cup. Chicky Reyes here with Coach Richard Del Rosario. A minute 25 before we end the first half. And the lead of the Philippines down to 9. Not anymore. It's back to 12.
Yeah, good execution of a timeout. Leading that 3-point basket by Moore.
Oh, and then Ra for the offensive putback. Throwdown is good.
You can see his demeanor. It's like, as we mentioned, it's in great shape.
Incidentally, Roosevelt Adams has been fielded in as well by Coach Charles Chiu. 3-ball by Bachman.
Bachman, you know, he's not really known to be a 3-point shooter, but has been working on it.
This is the second time that Korea will be called for a dribbling violation, and the infraction will be called against Dae Sung Lee.
I'm not sure how many times they've been hit with that kind of call in their first 4 games, but they should be adjusting on how the referees are making a call.
Adams missing that corner 3. 27 ticks to go before we end the first half. This is an open look. Ra failing to score on the putback. Passed only by Moore. Moore going all the way.
Again, just nobody there, tall enough or athletic enough to stop Moore in transition. He already has 9 points, perfect from the field.
15-point lead here, down to 13, and you gotta love the resiliency of the South Koreans beating that buzzer and putting that lead or bring that lead down to 13.
That's correct. You know, you can't stop playing when you're playing a team like Korea. They will just go at it. But a good first half here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold, especially in the second period, to establish this lead at the half.
51-38 is our halftime score, a 13-point lead here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines against South Korea. Both teams with a 4-0 immaculate record, and they're looking for win number 5. Tough day here for the Koreans, but they're fighting tooth and nail against the Philippines. We'll be right back. We're back here at Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan, for the 41st William Jones Cup International Basketball Tournament. This is the match between the Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines and South Korea. First half is done with Mighty Sports Go for Gold building a 13-point against South Korea, 51-38.
Well, it's a good start for both teams in the first quarter. It was very close with Mighty Sports grabbing a 2-point lead. Of course, it was guys like Zach Graham, of course, Jeremy Gray, and Bachman doing most of the damage for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. But in the second quarter, it was all Mighty Sports Go for Gold as they outscored Korea 28-17 in that quarter. That really extended their lead. So we're hoping that they can sustain it here in the upcoming second half.
And what I noticed, Coach Richard, in the second quarter, the nice ball movement coming from South Korea in the first 10 minutes was not visible, was not present in the second quarter, mainly because Mighty Sports Go for Gold, they were able to tighten that screw on their defensive side of the floor.
Yes, not a lot of penetrations, and they also went out and challenged the shooters outside, even guys like Bachman and Phelps, really extending in the perimeter and challenging those outside shots. And most of the time, it led to fast break opportunities for Mighty Sports, and that's why head coach of Korea having a lot of problems going towards the halftime break. But they did make a good run towards the end of the second quarter to keep it a bit close.
Now helping Gunara are people like Seong Hyun Lee wearing jersey number 33. We got some bright moves coming from Jung Hyun Lee also wearing number 3. But apart from those two gentlemen, all the other players of South Korea, they really not chipped in that much here in the first half.
Well, of course, I feel that they're been intimidated by the players of Mighty Sports Go for Gold as we take a look at the field goal shooting. Very high, 60% for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. And free throws, Korean, of course, are very good free throw shooters. And you can see the turnovers and the fouls. A lot of turnovers made by Korea in that second quarter that led to this halftime lead by Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
And those numbers, glaring difference indeed in the field goals, something that I'm sure South Korean coach Sang-Shik Kim would like to address here, starting with the third quarter. And we're about to start our third quarter. Good crowd here at Changhua County Stadium. And you mentioned, Coach, this is the 5th game in a row for the Philippines before they take a 2-day break.
Yes, for both teams actually, and a lot of people really looking at this like a championship match because of how these two teams have played in their first 4 outings, both undefeated. As we can look at the quarter scoring, as we mentioned, only a 2-point lead for the Philippines, 23-21 at the end of the first, but they really piled it up in the second quarter.
Third quarter has begun, and this quarter is brought to you by Health Cube. Pivotal third quarter here, very crucial for South Korea. And if you're rooting for the other side, Mighty Sports Go for Gold for sure would like to continue applying the pressure here in the third. They continue with that ball movement here. But the outside shots not really falling, as mentioned earlier, for South Korea.
Yeah, that's been their main problem. They have to hit outside shots for them to have a chance in this game because of the height of the players of Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
Now here in the third quarter, as expected, Ra will probably not rest for the rest of the match.
Oh yes, a turnover is hurting Korea. Luckily for them, Mighty Sports Go for Gold commits turnover on its own. You can see the length really bothering Korea because they've been, getting a lot of deflections on their passes.
And you pointed that out, Coach Richard, because of the athleticism of Mighty Sports Go for Gold. They can afford to always guard man-to-man, mano-a-mano, no help needed. But you gotta love the attack there coming from Jung Hyun Lee, not afraid of the bigger, heftier blue shirts in front of him.
They're really very conscious and trying to get penetration to the basket. and try to suck the defense in to open up shooters in the perimeter.
Good pop out. Good switch. Good
14 to shoot for South Korea.
Good job, Mikey. Switch back. Good job.
Extra pass to Ra. Perimeter shot is good.
Again, it was a penetration on the pass and on a dribble that opened up things for Ra or Ricardo Ratliff.
We're not yet used to calling him
Ra.
Gunara.
Yes.
Roll ball.
Let's see. 6 to shoot. 11-point lead for Mighty Sports. Go for gold. Adams, one step closer off the glass. After hitting his first shot, he has been missing from the perimeter. Lee for 3. It's good.
And that was a wide open look for Lee. Somebody got lost in transition there.
Now the lead is down to 8.
Go, single eye, single eye, single eye. Horse, that's fine. Roll hard, roll hard, roll hard.
50% from the floor is Lee. Turnover by the blue shirts. 3-2 break for Korea. And oh, good thing that Ra was there.
Yes, Ra is really that type of player. Would really run the floor, not give up on plays, not take things for granted. So a great start here for Korea. Forces Coach Charles Chu to call this timeout.
7-0 run for Korea. 51 to 45. We got this timeout brought to you by Go for Gold.
파이트를 좀 강하게 치고 나가. 강하게. 지금 잘하고 있어. 자, 오늘 패스를 파이트. 멘트는 진천으로 가, 진천으로. 진천이야, 진천. 진천, 저거만 조심해. 스윙할 때만 조심하고, 안 되면 해가지고, 안 되면 커팅 조심하고, 다음 사람. 지금 그리고 중요한 상황이 파울이 하나도 없으니까 그냥 뚫렸다고 이지샷 주면 안 되고 그냥 차라리 베이스 안에 사이드아웃 해야 돼, 사이드아웃. 이거 미리 잘라고 미리. 오, 저 뒤에. 건아 괜찮나 물어봐, 건아.
Yeah, just stay corner.
With Gunara leading the attack for Korea, they have built a 7-0 run here to start the third quarter to cut down the lead of Mighty Sports. Go for Gold Philippines down to 6, 51-45. Fantastic start in the third by Korea.
Yes, and for Mighty Sports, they need to get the ball inside as well and maximize their height advantage. Not settle for a lot of outside shots unless it is wide open. As a foul is called.
야.
Moon Hill was too close. He was called for that foul against Williams.
He had his forearm on Williams when he was facing to the basket. That's why he was called for a foul.
7:35 left in the third quarter. Williams.
Drive it.
저 뒤에 누구야?
Kick out.
Gray, 2 on him.
트래블.
3, 2.
Moore has it. A second remaining. Missed a 3. Another good stop by Korea.
They went back to their zone, which is, they call it a drop zone in Korea, which is like a 1-2-2 formation.
Go.
And it's working for them.
Yes.
On the other side, Gray knocks down that 3.
Well, again, transition has been the best friend of Mighty Sports. Go for gold in this game.
But that was just the first field goal of the Philippines after being quiet for almost 3 minutes here in the third quarter.
Korea Lee asking for a foul in that layup attempt. None was called. Let's take a look. Oh. Probably, I think it was clipped on his left arm, but it was his right arm that was taking the shot. So, I mean, it shouldn't have bothered that shot.
3 ball.
Go, go.
No conversion coming from Hill.
Pop it.
Cross court to Gray.
One more. Oh, patience.
Gray inside, blocked.
Down.
Hill sees an opening. Shot clock at 14. Lee,
올라갈
7 to shoot. Oh, nice
Nice
feed
pass.
inside.
Oh, but was intimidated.
And I think that approach worked well for Korea.
Yeah, I mean, but that inside pass again, that benefit. Once the ball gets inside the paint, it opens up a lot of possibilities for Korea.
Trio hitting that one from the corner. 54-48, just a 6-point lead here. Back to an 8-point lead, courtesy of Bachman.
He's using his quickness against Ratliff. Once they extend Ratliff out on that corner, you know, that's to the advantage of Bachman.
13 points ready for Bachman, only 1 miss.
On your own. Blair, Maya!
Ra against Bachman. Too easy for Ratliff there.
It was just overpowering Bachman at that time. And his ability to shoot with either hand helped him. Look at this. That's just too close and nothing else Bachman can do.
But earlier it was Bachman who scored against Ra. Ra was quick to see that Moore wasn't really decided on giving help.
Yes, because you can see from even from the coaching staff, you know, shouting instructions that he was on his own, so it was just single coverage on the Ra.
56-50. Mighty Sports go for goal up by 6. Williams at the corner.
Down, down, down.
Nothing
Get
there.
back, Mikey.
Hill feeds it back to Ra, and that lead is down to 4.
Very good spacing, and Ra really dangerous as a trailer. He already has 20 points, 50% from the field. Double-double here.
Halfway mark of the third, another 3 ball, 1 and done again for Mighty Sports go for goal.
Settling for outside shots. Oh, look fast. Asking for a foul. This has been a highlight for Gray.
Now that was a sorry miss for Korea. Had they converted on that one, would have been a totally different ball game.
That's correct.
58-52, 6-point lead, Mighty Sports.
Staggers!
Nice cut again inside. Assist for Ra. 2 points for Choi.
Gray not really defending that staggered screen well, allowing that curl to the basket that resulted in a wide open layup with him behind.
Take him.
Lead is down to 4. They're allowing Phelps to take that long too.
Down, 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 down,
You know,
down.
he's really just trying to play the percentages, even though he has made a couple of jumpers.
Oh, you gotta love the resiliency here of Hoon Hyo.
There's just a different mentality here for Korea to start the second half. You know, just be more aggressive in attacking the basket.
Lead of Mighty Sports down to 2. Good block by Ra against Bachman. Ronaldo will try again. Nope. He'll kick it out. Williams for 3. Phelps. Still no bucket. Another rebound for Ra.
A lot of opportunities there for Mighty Sports go for gold.
Hyo gives the lead to Korea 59-58.
Again, a wide open 3 in transition. I think he was even surprised that there was nobody in front of him.
3:10 remaining here in the third quarter. And I'm looking at the production of Korea. They have already produced 21 points here in the third.
That was a great timing on that block by Ratliff.
And yes, I think he got surprised
Yes, nobody was.
아니지 매치 그렇지
Zone offense.
with that open look.
스위치
Flash.
Now, this is a little bit shocking here for Mighty Sports. Only 7 points here in the third quarter.
And again, they are struggling with that zone of Korea. And I remember Korea, every time they play the Philippines, even before when they were playing Gilas, they were against a dribble drive, they were just using that 1-2-2 zone, and we had trouble with it.
And Hyo getting the better end of that stick against Brickman. Missed the first attempt, but the putback is good.
You can see the offensive rebounding really being dominated there by Korea. And all the rebounds.
Another block by Ra. And Bachman gets that ball back.
And you know, they tap each other, you know, acknowledging. We're talking about Ratliff and Bachman
전화 한번 쉬어야 되지 않아?
acknowledging each other's play.
종규 나오라고.
1 point lead for Korea.
그렇지.
They go for the three. And Lee hits it.
And now every three is like a layup for Korea, and that's a dangerous sign.
64 point lead here for Korea.
트래블. 그렇지.
And they'll call it traveling violation against Zach.
You can see here, this penetration opens up this three
Hey, switch everything.
from
Switch
Korea.
everything.
And every time that ball gets in the paint,
자, 남은
that's
거
very
완전
effective
공격이야,
offense
남은
for
시간.
Korea. You can see
헤이,
three-point
남은 시간 완전
shooting,
공격이야. 내려와.
4 of 5.
We always say, Coach, or you guys always say law of averages, right? Something has got to give.
Yes.
And now the three-point attempts are falling for Korea. 9 to shoot.
Switch.
They go in. Nope. Rebound goes to Bachman. Blue shirts are going to run. Graham contested.
A good challenge there. Ball will stay with Korea, but this is a golden opportunity here for Mighty Sports go for gold as Ratliff is out, given a rest by the coach.
Hill will be called for that foul, trying to pick the pocket of Eugene Phelps.
Oh yeah, I mean, you cannot deny that foul. Every time you reach in and give referees to call a reason to call that foul there.
Oh, he got armed. Maybe the hand caught ball, but his arm caught arm.
Yeah.
But you gotta tip your hat for Hoon Hyo here.
헬프.
Get out. Play.
선영이
Attack.
떨어져.
Oh, hard hit.
Oh, offensive foul. Graham.
Get a stop. Come on. Forget it. Get a stop.
선영아. 원샷 공간 선영이가 해, 선영이가.
Oh, there,
원샷 공간
elbow.
선영이가라고. 그래서 오케이.
Right on the chin there.
Get up on him.
A minute 13 left here in the third quarter.
It's a big test of character here for Mighty Sports go for gold as they are now. No, this is a real serious challenge for them so far in this campaign. So let's see how they will respond.
Korea already has 26 points here in the third against the 9 of the Philippines.
움직여야지.
Nice backdoor cut.
And a slam for Choi.
Right now, they're just beating Mighty Sports with their movement off the ball.
스위치.
Choi with 12 points already.
맞춰 그냥.
Moore goes in, was challenged. Bachman missing it.
준영아 그냥 맞는 거야.
I think number 15 got hurt. Good.
헤이. 선영아.
And Jong Kyu Kim trying to shake it off.
Oh, there, knee in the groin area. That's why he couldn't even get to this ball. Look,
상제.
see? Couldn't even stand up.
And you could just imagine the pain. He's okay. 6-point lead for Korea. 24 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Difference of 2 seconds or 3 seconds from the quarter clock and shot clock. Lee not going for the three. Good fake. They throw it up and they almost make it put back.
잘해.
And Korea, what a third quarter here, Coach. Producing 28 points in the third.
Yes, you know, definitely Korea just stepping on the gas and getting it whatever they wanted offensively. You know, they got points inside and they got points outside. Held the Mighty Sports go for gold to only 9 points in the third.
Our third quarter score after 30 minutes of action, 66 for Korea, 60 for Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines. We got one more quarter when we come back.
여기 따라가야 되는데 그냥 바꾸지 마. 그걸 조금만 선영 좀 하나 드리고. 자, 오펜스는 지금 진전이 된단 말이야. 내가 강조하는 이유가 뭐냐면 얘네 디나이를 하니까 자꾸 이거 얘기하는 거야. 이거 안 되면 가지고 안 되면 스윙, 컬, 잡아주고 디네 게임 이런 식으로 계속 돌잔 말이야. 그리고 또 하나 이거 계속 하다 보면 이거 스위치하니까 빠지든지 아니면 건너가는 것까지. 10분 남았어 10분. 자, 쟤네도 못 뛰어 지금 못 뛴다고.
We got one more quarter left here in this match, and before we start this quarter, that zone defense of South Korea has been the thorn on the side of Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
That's correct. And for Mighty Sports, you know, they have to start on the defensive end so that they can run in transition and not allow that zone to form. You know, when they got that lead in the second quarter, it was because of their defense, really extending to their shooters. A lot of miscommunication happened in the third quarter, especially in transition, leaving shooters wide open. And so that needs to be addressed here in the fourth and final period.
And then the three ball suddenly coming back into the arsenal or the artillery of South Korea. Number 33, Seong Hyun Lee, hitting a couple, but we have to tip our hats off to their point guard, number 6, Hun Kyo, doing a good job manning the point in the third quarter.
That's correct. So we should expect more pressure on the ball and you know, better communication defensively.
Push it, dudes. Run with him. Attack.
Final 10 minutes here.
No patience. Zone offense.
They rotate it. Zach has it. Shot clock at 9. Phelps lost it.
안 되면 안 해도 돼. 안 되면 안
4
해도
on
돼.
3 break here. Long 2. Short.
Come on!
But they get an offensive rebound.
That's right. You know, again, Korea has been more active here in the second half. Another penetration.
Now, rebound secured here by the Philippines. Alley-oop is good. Throwdown is good.
And it should be a wake-up call, you know. Give some energy to Mighty Sports Go for a goal. And that's what they need to do. Really start with defense for them to be able to run on offense.
Graham connecting with Njai. The lead of Korea down to 4. Phelps will be called for the foul.
Yeah, that was a great hesitation dribble from Choi Jun-young. Look at this eye in the sky play.
자, 얘네 지금 못
Good timing
뛰잖아.
of
얘네
the
못
pass
뛴다고.
coming from Zach Graham. 8:44 remaining in this match.
자,
Lead is at 5 for Korea.
13 points, 7 boards.
자,
Second one is also good, so the lead of Korea is at 6, 68-62.
여기 누구야 여기?
Zone offense. High post. Swing it. Using flash. Full screen.
Williams has it. Brickman at the corner, nope, he goes in. Phelps failing to score inside.
You know, Brickman should take a couple of shots for him to be a threat. Otherwise, the defense would just sag off every time. Clog the lane.
Now Korea, Coach Richard is starting to pull away here from Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
And you know, and right now they're really clogging up the
아,
lane.
두 개. 아, 진짜.
Here's Brickman again.
Zach in heavy traffic.
Wow. Finally.
잘했어.
Hey, gotta get back to the
리바운드
guys.
조금만 신경
Well,
쓰자,
they
리바운드.
gotta really move the ball against that zone. You know, the longer the ball stays with one person, the more effective a zone becomes. As you can take a look at the fast break plays here by Korea.
And what I noticed, Coach, about South Korea or Korea here is that every time the Philippines commit a mistake, they immediately run full throttle on the other end.
That's correct. And that's a good sign for Graham if they can continue to hit that shot. He's, you know, he's known as a sniper, so he should be the zone buster here for Mighty Sports. Go for gold.
205 from beyond the arc, 10 points for Graham. Long two. And he was able to knock it down. Kim Sun-hyun.
Again, good ball movement there by the Korean national team.
Lead is at 7.
One more.
Kick out. They swing it. Williams, corner 3.
오케이.
Oh no.
And this will go against
I believe against Phelps for holding on to the arm of Ratliff.
진영아, 괜찮아.
ball will swing back to the white shirts. Phelps will take a breather.
잡아줘. 진영아 잡아줘.
4 fouls already for Eugene Phelps.
No.
바운드 패스, 바운드.
Turnover for the white shirts.
파울 있어.
This opportunity here for Mighty Sports in transition there. Wide open look. Every time they are able to get a stop or force a turnover, usually ends up in points for Mighty Sports. Go for gold.
뒤에 한다, 뒤에.
12 for Graham. Lead of Korea down to 572-67. They go to Ra and they're asking for a travel, but they think they'll call a foul against Brickman.
레이업 아니야, 레이업.
That's right.
쌉.
Tripping contact. See here, as he hedged off that ball screen there, he crossed the path of Ratliff.
That's good effort. Get stops, come on, get stops.
Mackenzie Moore back in the game. Williams sits
There's
down.
your man.
6:33 remaining in this contest. Still anybody's game. Once again, for those of you just tuned in, Korea and the Philippines both entering this game with a 4-0
Come
record.
on, guys.
Philippines, they were able to beat Iran, Jordan, Japan, and Canada in that order, while Korea was able to beat Jordan, Chinese Taipei, White, Iran, and Indonesia, also in that
Good
order.
job, Zach. Good job, Zach. Good job, Zach. Switch it.
4 to shoot.
2. No foul.
A second remaining.
Rebound. Hey, good hit.
And that's a 24-second shot clock violation.
Well, good active hands there for Mighty Sports. Go for gold. And really extending the offense of Korea.
Look up.
Ball goes back to Mighty Sports, go for gold. They want to go to Bachman.
정현이, 대성이랑.
And Bachman apologizing to Kim.
Yeah, because he had hit the elbow to the shin. You can see here, that's where the whistle was called here.
All the way through. Run it all the way through. Come on, guys.
And
Baseline inbound. All the way
you
through.
know, that's momentum.
Wait for Zach. Wait for
And
Zach.
we know Bachman as a changed man already.
Yes.
55번 누구야?
Reverse it. There.
17 to shoot.
Ball screen.
Oh, long 3.
All right, go,
No
go,
conversion, however, for
Yeah, no
Graham.
ball movement, no people movement that time.
Looper of a shot. No lucky bounce there.
정현아, 빨로.
Bachman will bring it down. Bachman will go all the way. And underneath, we got Graham getting that offensive rebound.
Yeah, Graham doing a lot of positive things here for Mighty Sports. Go for gold. Not only hitting outside shots, getting to the basket, but right now even offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities.
5:42 remaining in the match. On the line is Zachary Darnold Graham. First is good. $13 points already for Zach.
5분 지나면은 숨이
2 for 2, total of 14, and the lead of Korea down to 3.
Let's look at our defense here. Really more active in disrupting,
된다 그랬잖아, 안쪽으로.
Now the Bachman really getting up. on his man,
아, 그렇게 얘기했잖아.
preventing an
드리블
easy
치고
swing pass and forcing this turnover. And you can see the frustration again on the face of the head coach of South Korea.
Jason, ball screen with H.
At this point of the match,
You and
Coach,
Jason, ball screen here. Down
we
low.
expect Coach Charles Chu and the rest of the Mighty Sports Go for Gold to continue applying the pressure. It's their turn to apply the pressure against the Koreans.
Yes, that's right, because they've been swinging the ball from left to right, getting it into spots that they wanted. So it's really about disruption of the offense. And finally, something outside.
Mackenzie Moore ties it at 72 with that 3. And you see Coach Kim Sang-shik pacing the sidelines. Open 3, nothing but the bottom of the net to tie the score at 72 all. And this timeout is brought to you by Go for Gold.
패스에서 지금 잘하고 있는데 파이트 쫓아가지 체크해주지 안돼 떨어지지 이 사람 개투해줘야 돼 개투 이 사람이 너무 들어와버리란 말이야 들어와서 어디 가든지 개투를 해줘야 돼 너무 들어와버리면 이건 못 나간다고 자 진천을 하는데 내가 알고 줄 알고 드리블 바로 가버려
But Bulk, you go straight here to the high post after you see the screen. High post, get Bulk the ball to high post. Go. Right? Or away. Hey, defense, get on deep.
완전 리치가 아니면 완전 뚫린 거 자, 이 사람이 떨어질 수밖에 없다 오케이
We're back here at Changhua County Stadium, New Taipei City, Taiwan. And so far, that's the fourth quarter, scoring 12 already for the Philippines against the 6
Pressure, get
for
up on
Korea.
Zach.
And we are
Get up on
tied
Zach.
at 72. And this quarter is brought to you by Health Cube. We are approaching the halfway mark of the fourth and final quarter.
A good start here, the fourth quarter. You know, we scored 12 points as compared to 6 with Korea, but it's really about the defense that started it all. 4 Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Look at them get up on the ball. And that aggressiveness makes a difference.
Now, good dive to the basket shown there by Ra. But he has to earn those points from the 4.5-meter line.
Yeah, it's a well-designed play because after this dive, it's a smaller guy, usually the point guard, Brickman, who has to rotate defensively, and there's really not much he can do against Ra in cutting to the basket.
In and out for the first free throw of Ra.
Matt, get in the free throw, Matt.
야 이거 잘해야 돼 테크니컬 파울
Fantastic numbers for Ra.
왜 자꾸
20 and 14. Second one
Tap it.
is good. And Korea up by a point, 73-72.
하나 안 들어갔어?
Run it. Away. Go H. Dowski for Zach. Staggered.
Shot clock at 15 for Mighty Sports.
바꿔
Inside to Balkman. Off-balance shot, and he makes it.
That's just a good, strong move there by Bachman. You notice Korea, after we hit that three-point shot, they go back to their man-to-man defense. And this allows us to have, more loopholes on their defense and capitalize. A good defensive stop once again here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
Forcing a turnover from Joy. Meantime, this was the bucket earlier by Balkman. Lots of contact there, no whistle, and he's shaking his head.
정상적으로 해왜 안 하던 거라냐고
Their point guard, Hun Hyo, is back. 4.5 remaining in this fourth and final quarter. Philippines up by a point.
Now they're back to a zone.
Graham for the long one. Follow-up two-handed throwdown by Enjai.
With authority, you can see it in his eyes. He wants to win this game.
And those eyebrows are meeting at the middle for Enjai. 3-point lead for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Under 4 minutes left to play. Ra gives it to Hill. Leak out play. Bachman. Two-handed slam as well.
Right now, good timing on this run by Mighty Sports. Go for gold leads back up to 5. 3 minutes and 44.
78-73. A 5-point lead indeed for Mighty Sports. Go for gold against Korea with 3:44 remaining in the fourth and final quarter. Timeout brought to you by Go for Gold.
우리 진천 더블에서 정현이 던지는 거 하나 있지, 3점.
Number 6 switched onto the roller. If Mac's man gets him, get out, bring it back out. Mac, you post him up, you make a play on the post. All right, defense, we switch better. Let's talk better on the switches, all right? When Jason comes out of bulk, you set a flare for Zach, all right? Come on, guys, let's close this game out strong. Hey, defense.
You gotta see that again, that authoritative two-handed throwdown by Njai with those eyebrows meeting at the middle.
And you can see nothing from, not even an attempt for Korea from
Wow.
the three-point line in the fourth period.
So, Coach, first quarter and the third quarters, they were okay in the three-point area, and they played well.
Yes, you know, and Korea's been struggling with a pressure defense. Once Mighty Sports Go for Gold got up on the ball and pressured the ball handler, you know, it spelled a world of difference. And after this timeout, still came out with a turnover, and now 2 free throws coming up.
Mackenzie Moore, not 100% because of that ankle injury, but playing with a lot of heart in this match. And he makes the first free throw. Imagine if he's 100%.
Oh, yes.
1-1, what's a double flare?
Second free throw is also good, total of 14.
What's a flare?
And Mighty Sports Go for Gold, up by 7 now, 80 against 73.
Just a couple of stops away from winning this game.
Flare, Jason. Good. Switch.
Tight defense now being applied here by the Philippines. Shot clock at 5, baseline jumper, didn't work. Ra secures the offensive board. Lee, they go for that 3. Nope. And that presence of Njai is really felt here
Yes.
in the fourth quarter.
You know, and if we continue to win this game, it's really because of the defense and how they've stepped up and put on the pressure on the ball in the fourth quarter.
Bachman not going for that long too. No whistle there. Oh, but a traveled. Yo, passed up on the 3.
And look at that, Njai going out and challenging that attempt. That's why you force him to drive to the basket and then force a turnover. And that's just the energy and the difference here in the fourth period.
Something that we didn't see, Coach, in the third quarter from Mighty Sports.
That's correct, because they were so effective at not being able to score offensively that it took away the energy on the defensive side. But this time, in the fourth quarter, they started the energy on the defense, and that produced baskets on the offensive end.
2.5 remaining in this match. A 7-point lead here for Mighty Sports Go for Gold. Njai. Shot clock at 11. It's at Moore. Now this foul will be called against Lee Dae-sung.
We're really picking on guys looking at the matchups now that Korea has gone back to a man-to-man defense. Disappointed look on the face of the Korean head coach.
Now this is probably the toughest opponent that the Philippines has met in the 41st William Jones Cup, because against Iran, they won by 20. Against Jordan, they won by 16. Against Japan, they won by 35. And then against Canada, they won by 29.
That's correct. But we can't stop playing defense here. A couple of three-point baskets can change the complexion of this game.
Inside to Ra. He'll go back to the free throw line.
시간 충분하다. 시간
And again, Mighty
충분해.
Sports go for goal, doing a good job extending defensively, not allowing three-point shots,
준이야, 지금 뭘 해야 되는지 생각을 해야지. 지금 도막 걸렸다.
or even attempts.
생각을 해야 돼.
All important free throws here. Horaguna or Mr. Ratliff missed the first.
Probably, you know, tired. I think he's only had a minute's rest in this game.
Let's set up a bit lower though.
And
a bit
they
lower.
too, I mean, talking about Korea, had a tough
bit lower.
schedule when the Jones Cup started.
Whatever side you want.
Split for Ra. Leader of the Philippines down to 7.
Other side ball. Other side ball. Go lower, lower, Jay.
Under 2 minutes left here in this match.
Go, go, Matt, go, Matt. Smith, there you go.
Brickman.
Nowhere to post.
Now to Njai.
Go, Zach, out.
That pass deflected. They go to Bachman for the 3.
One more.
Nope, but he gets his own miss.
Yeah, good decision. No need to hurry. Get some time off the clock.
Bachman, power play. Njai! Another two-handed throwdown.
Yeah, it's just thriving, you know, on those offensive boards, because nobody's really guarding him. You know, Ra is just sagging off of him, and that allows him momentum to attack the basket and get offensive rebounds.
자, 하나.
83-76, not yet over. 7-point lead for the Philippines. If they score on this possession, coach, then that could be the final
Yeah.
nail in the coffin.
One more, one more, one more.
Graham trying to go alley-oop to Njai. It backfired. 1:02 remaining, could be a final push here by Korea.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna look for a quick basket. The important thing for Mighty Sports Go for Gold is not to give up a quick three.
And earlier, this was the two-handed throwdown by Njai after that miss by Bachman.
Yeah, nobody big enough or strong enough to box him out and even challenge the second chance opportunity for Korea.
Mighty Sports Go for Gold, still up by 7.
Set a
A
screen
little
for
over a
Zach.
minute left in this match.
Ball screen, go. 5 down. But let's get a stop first. Hey, now we switching everything. Now we switching everything. Never mind they get 2, just no 3s. Never mind they get 2, just no 3s, all right? No 3s, we switch everything. All right, let's get a stop.
Let me guard it.
Yep.
준영이 3점. 3점. 그리고 치고 들어가다가 안 되면 슛 안 되면 치고 들어가다가 헬프하면 여기 정현이.
네, 여기 스위치 이래요. 스위치하고.
실제도 상관없어. 권하가 빠져버리고 나와버리라고 그냥. 이거 안 되면 페널티레이션.
Keeper is cut.
3.5
Dive in to the basket.
작전 한번 하시죠.
Well, we heard that huddle by Coach Charles Tew.
If
They go for
score,
the
we can
switch
stop, right?
for as long as no 3s are made.
No, we can stop.
And then up next, we got Jordan going up against Republic of China 2 to end our matches for this day.
That's fine. Sit down. They might press when they score. I don't want to call timeout, so. Yeah, just come.
And that timeout earlier that we witnessed was brought to you by Go for Gold. Hang on to your seats.
Switch
A
it,
minute
switch it.
remaining.
헤헤헤. 수맥기.
Shot clock at 6, 3 ball. And they followed the marching orders of Coach Charles.
Yeah, that will be it. I mean,
Cross, cross, cross.
it's gonna be hard. Korea's gonna be hard pressed to, unless they force a couple of turnovers. But with this foul, And I believe they are in the penalty, so there's 2 free throws coming up for Brickman.
Now 41.65 seconds remaining. I think it's safe to say that another W will go the way of Mighty Sports. Go for gold. They are looking good. They are beyond the halfway already, Coach. They'll have a 5-0 record.
Yes, and they're going to deserve a couple of days rest that's coming up before another game on Friday. And this, again, this was a good, it's going to be a good character win here for Mighty Sports. Go for gold. They were really tested in this game.
85-76. But there's a 3-ball here coming from Korea. 85-79. To your point, they don't care about the time, about the score. They play for every possession.
Yes, that's right. And right now they're trying to maximize. So after they score, they will just foul, hoping that Philippines will miss free throws.
Now after this match for Mighty Sports Go for Gold, they got 3 more games after their 2-day break. It will be against Indonesia, Chinese Taipei Blue, and Chinese Taipei White. Another 3-ball from Korea.
I expect them to foul again, but
87-82.
I don't think they will have enough time. 5-point lead unless Bachman misses 2 free throws.
With very disciplined approach here by Korea. They know what they need to do. And that shooting form very similar with almost all the players of South Korea.
I mean, if Bachman, or even if he makes 1, the important thing is not to allow a quick 3 once again.
Uh-oh. 2 misses from Bachman.
Oh, but they did not secure a rebound.
And the smallest guy on the floor, Brickman, securing that rebound.
And there were 4 Korean guys there for the rebounds, surrounding the ball, but nobody grabbing the ball. And Bachman was just, Brickman was the right place at the right time.
I think they were surprised as well to see Bachman miss both free throws.
That's right. So a sigh of relief here for Mighty Sports. Go for gold.
Moore hits the first of 2. Making it 87-82, or rather 88-82, with 16.46 seconds remaining on the clock. Second one for McKenzie is also good. They'll go for another 3. The blind, just missed it. And Brickman will probably dribble this one out. We're waiting for that final buzzer. And there you have it, our final score, 89-82, a 7-point win for Mighty Sports Go for Gold Philippines, and they continue to protect that immaculate record, going up 5-0.
That's correct. And they were challenged. They were down at the end of 3 quarters, but buckled down on the defense in the 4th quarter. Outscored Korea 12-6 in the first few minutes of that 4th quarter. And that spelled the difference in this ball game.
And big game as well coming from South Korea. Although they get their first defeat, 4-1, they're still looking good, occupying a solo second here, just on top of Chinese Taipei Blue with a 3-1 record, and so is Japan with a 3-1 record. But hats off to the Philippines for that great fight here.
Oh yes, and it's nice to win games based on defense and not just relying on their offense. And that is going to be the next game of Mighty Sports Go for Gold.
And that will be on Friday, July 19, 3 p.m. Don't forget that game. Hopefully, Mighty Sports Philippines get win number 6. And that's it for me and Coach Richard. My name is Chicky Reyes, saying thank you very much for watching and supporting the 41st William Jones Cup International Basketball Tournament here in Taiwan.